The night Mara Collins got arrested, the first thing that hit the pavement wasn't her pride, it was her fake enforcement badge. 10 minutes before that, she was standing at my gate with 3 hired guys yelling that I was being removed from property I legally owned. By the time the second sheriff unit pulled away, the woman who spent months terrorizing my block with HOA threats was in cuffs, still screaming about authority she never had. My name's Ethan Walker, and I live in Cedar Ridge, a quiet subdivision outside Dallas where people mostly mind their own business. No guard shack, no private roads, no clubhouse politics, just mailboxes, lawn mowers, and neighbors waving from driveways. When I bought this house, I checked everything twice. Title restrictions, county filings, the whole stack. No legal homeowners association tied to my deed. That part matters because Mara built her little empire on the assumption that nobody would verify anything. She moved in like a storm front, not loud at first, just heavy. Week 1, she introduced herself with cookies and a smile too polished to trust. Week 2, she started dropping community standards flyers in everyone's mailbox like she'd been elected queen. Then came the language shift. Not "hey neighbor," not "could we talk." It became compliance enforcement violations, late penalties. She carried a clipboard like a badge and spoke in that sharp, fake calm tone people use when they think intimidation counts as leadership. My first notice showed up taped to my garage, unapproved exterior storage. The storage was a folded ladder behind my trash bins, invisible from the street unless you walked onto my driveway. The second notice said my truck was commercial-looking and out of aesthetic bounds. It's a stock Ford F-150, same as half of Texas. I ignored those. Then she escalated. At 7:12 a.m. on a Tuesday, she pounded on my front door like I owed her bail money. I opened to find her holding a thick packet stamped "Final Notice," red ink, bold font, fake urgency. She said, "You have 24 hours to sign HOA membership documents and clear outstanding dues." I asked one question. "What's the county registration number for your homeowners association?" She blinked, recovered, and said, "You don't need that. I'm the board president." I said, "That's not how legal authority works." Her face hardened right there on my porch. She leaned in and dropped the friendly act. "Don't make this difficult, Ethan. I can make your life very expensive very quickly." I told her, "If this is legitimate, send certified paperwork through an attorney. Otherwise, leave my property." She held my stare for a beat, then smiled that smile again, colder this time, like she had already picked the next move. 24 hours, she said, turning away. "You'll comply." By evening, 3 more notices appeared zip-tied to my fence. One demanded $480 for repeat non-compliance. One threatened lien review. One said failure to cooperate could trigger occupancy action. That phrase made me stop and read everything line by line. Typos in legal terms. No docket number, no court district, no filing references. A fake signature block and a payment link going to a personal account. I started talking to neighbors quietly, one at a time. An older couple down the street admitted they paid Mara $200 in cash after she told them their rose bushes violated height policy. A young dad told me he paid a parking variance fee because she said his work van could be towed from his own driveway. A single mom said Mara threatened to restrict access to neighborhood facilities. We don't even have facilities. People were embarrassed they paid. People were afraid not to. That's how this kind of scam breathes. Not through strength, through silence. I installed an extra camera over the garage and angled another at the gate. I saved every notice in a folder, photographed each one front and back, time-stamped everything. I kept my tone flat and my responses short because emotional arguments feed people like Mara. Friday came hot and windy, the kind of evening where tempers rise before sunset. At 6:34 p.m., a black SUV rolled to a stop in front of my house. Mara stepped out first, sunglasses still on, followed by 3 men in black polos and work boots. Not deputies, not code enforcement, not anybody with real authority. She walked right up to my mailbox post and slapped down a paper with theatrical force. "Immediate occupancy termination," she announced, voice raised for the whole street. "You are hereby ordered to vacate pending board seizure." I stayed inside my gate and said, "You just posted a fake eviction notice on private property." One of the men stepped closer, palms out, false peaceful. "Sir, let's keep this civil and get signatures done." My retired K9 Rex moved to my left side and locked in. He didn't bark yet, just watched, chest low, ears forward, every muscle loaded. Animals read intent better than people do, and Rex did not like what he saw. Mara pointed at him and snapped. "Control your dog, you're threatening officials." I said, "There are no officials here. There's you 3 hired guys and a fake notice." She fired back, "I am the authority in this neighborhood." I had already called the county non-emergency line when I saw the SUV turn in. I gave dispatch names, address, and live updates while keeping my phone recording in my hand. No yelling, no theatrics, just facts. Mara kept pushing. "Final chance," she said, shoving a packet toward the gate slats. "Sign membership, sign fee, acknowledgement, sign enforcement consent." I held my phone steady and read the top line out loud for the video. No court order, no county seal, no legal basis. One of the men reached for the latch. Rex exploded forward with a single warning lunge, not crossing the gate just enough force to rattle metal and freeze everyone in place. The guy jumped back, swore, and looked at Mara like he'd just realized this was not routine work. She hissed at him. "Do your job." I heard sirens before I saw lights. 2 sheriff units turned onto our street and stopped nose to tail in front of my house strobes, washing the block in red and blue. Deputy Daniel Brooks stepped out first, calm posture, one hand up, command voice without shouting. "Everybody stay where you are." Mara rushed him immediately, words tumbling over each other. "He threatened us. He has a weapon. He's refusing lawful removal. Detain him now." Brooks said ma'am, who filed the legal action for removal. She launched into jargon: Charter Authority, Community Board Powers, Special District Compliance. Brooks asked again, slower, "Show me the county registration for your homeowners association." She handed him a laminated card and a binder like it contained the Constitution. He flipped pages. His expression didn't change, but he stopped on one sheet and radioed dispatch to verify the filing number. Dispatch came back clear: no active HOA registration, no matching entity, no record of authority. The silence on that street was sudden and heavy. I handed Brooks my deed copy tax statement and a tablet feed from the porch camera. Audio was clean. Mara saying sign or they escort you out. Video clear. Her men blocking my gate, one handling lock hardware, another holding pre-filled compliance acknowledgments. Brooks asked if anyone else had direct contact with Mara's fee demands. 2 neighbors stepped out. Then a third. The older couple confirmed cash payment under threat of penalty. The young dad confirmed transfer request to a personal account labeled Cedar Ridge Enforcement. The single mom confirmed repeated intimidation and fake hearing dates. Mara changed tactics on the spot. She pointed at everyone and yelled, "You're all in violation, all of you, and I can fine every household on this street." Brooks said, "Ma'am, step away from the gate and keep your hands visible." She ignored him and moved toward me fast, trying to snatch the packet and my phone at once. Brooks intercepted, controlled her arms, and turned her toward the curb. She screamed, twisted, and kept shouting titles at him like titles could rewrite law. He cuffed her cleanly, double-locked, no chaos, no drama beyond what she brought herself. He read charges in plain language: criminal trespass, coercion-related conduct, fraudulent instrument investigation pending document review, possible impersonation violations depending on prosecution assessment. One of the hired men blurted, "We were told this was private security enforcement." Another said, "She hired us same-day cash." The third just stared at the ground and stayed quiet. Mara kept yelling from the curb, voice cracking now, less command and more panic. "I run this neighborhood, you can't do this." Brooks didn't argue with her. He just did his job. An evidence tech bagged the fake notices. Another deputy photographed the posted eviction paper where she'd slapped it against my mailbox post. Brooks gave me a case number and told me to preserve all digital files with original timestamps. As they walked Mara to the cruiser, she tried one last performance for the neighbors. "This isn't over. You'll all pay penalties." Nobody answered. The patrol door shut with that hollow metal thud that sounds final no matter where you stand. Her fake badge was still lying in runoff water near the curb face down, ink bleeding at the edge. The SUV got towed. The 3 men got separated for statements. The street exhaled. No speeches, no victory laps, no group hug at the mailbox. Just deputies, paperwork evidence markers, and a block full of people realizing fear had been rented to them month by month. I stood by my gate with Rex at my side, hands still shaking from adrenaline, watching red and blue reflections slide off windows and disappear. Before he left, Brooks said, "You kept it controlled, you documented. That matters." I nodded and thanked him. Then I picked up the fake notice from my mailbox post, folded it once, and dropped it into an evidence envelope. That was the whole story. Not glamorous, not cinematic, just real. A woman tried to manufacture power with paperwork pressure and hired intimidation, and it collapsed. The second fax entered the scene. In the end, the loudest voice didn't win. The documented truth did. Real authority leaves a legal trail.